Good evening, Ponto de Luz, my dear friends. So good to be with you again. Happy Thursday. And Gustavo always makes me so happy with the soundtrack that he picks for our study, beginning and end. It's always a good surprise. Thank you, Gustavo. And tonight we're going to we're going to finish the third order, imperfect spirits. And we're going to do that so we can move on to the good spirits next class. Let's try to accomplish that. Maybe even today. But before we do so, let's start our evening with the most important thing, which is our connection to God. Praying is the most important thing one can do before they start any activity, before anything. Our relationship with God is the most important thing. So let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for bringing us tonight together in good health, with the willingness to learn, to study, to make better choices for us, better choices, with intention and a good heart. We ask you, Lord, to protect all the frontline workers, the essentials, doctors, nurses, technicians, assistants, everyone that's now working in the hospitals to help us be in good health. We ask you, Lord, to protect every household reunited here tonight. Be with us, God, and with your permission, we open the study of tonight. So be it. It's such a good feeling when we connect to God. And praying is what has sustained us from March until now. And we're going to keep doing this because our hearts and our spirits need. It's food for the soul, right? We talk so much about food for the soul. Prayer feeds our soul. Let's continue with the study of the Spirit's book. Tonight, we're going to start with question 104. Remember, third order, imperfect spirits, 10 classes all together. From that 10th class, which is impure, to all the way first, pure spirits. We have 3 more classes on that third order, and we're going to start with the 8th class tonight. So this class is comprised by the pseudo learned spirits, the ones that know some things, but like they believe they know everything. So we're going to see the kind of communications they give. And when we studied this part of the Spirit's book, it's for us to understand that it's the same setting here and there. It's nothing happens by magic. Everything is an achievement. It's acquired through the journey, in different lives, in one life. The knowledge, the education that the Spirit puts effort to acquire, he will carry to the next life and to the spiritual world. And if nothing was done to increase that knowledge, then we have these little brothers and sisters, the pseudo learned spirits. The knowledge of these spirits is quite broad, but they think they know more than they actually do. Since they have made a certain amount of progress in some sense, their language has a serious tone about it that can be deceptive as to their true abilities and enlightenment. So it's like it's a little polished. It's not um, like the ones before that you can tell by their language that they are not um, in a higher class of spirits, they have some sort of knowledge. However, such is frequently nothing more than a reflection of the prejudices and theoretical ideas they held during their earthly life. Prejudices and theoretical ideas. We're going to talk about this. Their language contains a few truths mixed in with the most absurd errors, giving rise to the presumption, pride, envy, and stubbornness from which they have not been able to free themselves. So, even though they have the awareness of knowledge, we all know, if we study the Spiritist doctrine, we know that you need to acquire the moral virtues, the ones that are going to bring you to become a better human. If you make progress just intellectually, you learn something, and you can even use that, of course, to the benefit of others, but you still didn't take care of your feelings, of your own world. That will come out, right? It's going to be just external, and it's not going to be realistic. That's why the word pseudo, like pseudo, it's not the real thing. It's a make believe. So this eighth class, they are still filled with prejudice. They're still filled with pride, with envy, and stubbornness. We all have those, right? We do. It's a work in progress. When we see that we're doing something that is not in accordance to what we want to be, we must put every single effort to correct ourselves. Correct ourselves. We catch ourselves doing things that we say, oh my goodness, I did it again. Right? Everybody's like that. We all go through this. Let's not fool ourselves. We're still learning, we're still human. But the difference will be how much effort we put to correct ourselves. There is a lot of room for change. We are made to be perfect, the relative perfection, not the absolute perfection that is God, but the relative perfection. So we all need to try to not only learn things, but correct the feelings that are not the traits of a past that we don't want to keep carrying for the future. Sometimes we're stressed, we talk to somebody in a tone that is not the best tone possible, and we know it. Sometimes we're tired and we're going to get home and we're going to do something that was not meant to be. All those little things we're trying to get rid of because they're not part of what we want to be. And what we want to be is built on a daily basis. Habit is a powerful force. Try to do something good every day. One day you're going to wake up and it's there. It's there. So, Teresa of Jesus, Teresa of Avila, she used to say, find God in every little detail in life because He is everywhere. And there is another part that I love that she says too. If you have God, you will want for nothing. And when we aim for that desire, for that willingness to become better, to approach God faster, because He's always coming to us. But we need to make the effort. I read something very interesting the other day about that image on the Sistine Chapel of a God and the almost touching of the finger, right? Between man and God. And it's showing that God's finger is straight, all the way straight, and the man's finger is just like, it's still not there quite. So if the man put the effort, they would touch. But God, He's ready for us. He's waiting for us to make the effort. So why we're talking about this? Because moving up in that scale, effort, good habits, be connected, put priority in your life. Priority is God. That's it. The rest will revolve around, will come through on its due time. But having a strong faith takes you miles from any trouble, guaranteed. Seventh class, neutral spirits. That is the smallest one, just because they're like the breeze. Like they're like no good, not bad. They're neutral. They're not trying to provoke harm, but they're not also doing anything to do good. So we're going to read that. Neutral spirits. These are neither moral enough to do good nor bad enough to engage in wickedness. So they are not morally good enough to do something good, but they are not bad enough to engage in wickedness. So there's some progress there. Rather, they vacillate between the two. One time this, one time there. They have not raised themselves above the ordinary human condition by either their moral qualities or their intelligence. So when we talked about the previous ones, the pseudo learned ones, they at least they have some sort of intention to get the intelligence part, and they fail on the moral. These, they are not they don't stand out by their moral qualities or their intelligence. They're just like another brick on the wall. Right? I'm creative tonight. I just don't know how it came now as this. But yeah, another brick on the wall. They are attached to the things of this world and long for its coarse satisfactions. They are attached to the things of this world and long for its coarse satisfaction. So this keeps them what? Stuck, because they're not doing what we just spoke about. Putting the effort to become better, to do better. So let's give an example. If it was a spirit that used to have a vice, let's pick one, there's so many, smoking. And when transitions to the spiritual world, it's still wanting to feel the sensation of that vice, or still craves that smoking part. So it will be next to humans, still in matter, like in a physical body like us, to enjoy that sensation while they are smoking. So guess what? It's another good reason. I've, years ago, I've heard a lecture of somebody saying that, well, you want to know a good reason to stop doing to quit on most of your vices? Just know it. When you're doing it, you're not alone. You have company, and it's not the best company possible, because those neutral spirits, they will be around. They will be trying to absorb the fluids, the sensation, the smell, the taste of it through you. It's kind of not a good company to have, right? So good for us to evolve and get rid of our vices, and good for them when they put the effort, when they are not so attached to the things of this world and not longing for the satisfaction. They're going to move up to the next order, to the next class. I'm sorry, to the next class, the sixth class, which is the last one of the third order. Boisterous and disturbing spirits. Let's see what that is. Strictly speaking, these spirits do not form a distinct class regarding their personal qualities, and they may belong to any of the third order classes. So they could be spread around to the one of the ones that we studied before and the ones that we're studying today. They frequently make their presence known through perceptible and physical effects. That's what I wanted to talk about with you, such as raps, right? The movement and abnormal displacement of solid objects, the movement of the air, and etc. So these boisterous and disturbing spirits, they're going to create the phenomena, the physical manifestations that we hear. We hear noises, we hear movements, displacement of solid objects. So this was here, and then when I come back, it's not there anymore. They dematerialize or they move to a different place. And you think, am I crazy? I just thought I put that pen in that place. And sometimes we're forgetful and it happens, but this happens a lot. So these boisterous and disturbing spirits are the ones that do those tricky things. They appear to be more attached to matter than the others, and they are the principal agents of instability in the globe's elements. So look at this. This is really important. They are the main agents of instability in the globe's elements, whether by acting upon the atmosphere, water, fire, and solid bodies, or in the entrails of the earth. So they are creating those events and disturbing. One can recognize that such phenomena are not due to any fortuitous or by chance or and physical cause when there is an intentional and intelligent character about them. So there is an intention behind it, and the intention is created, the volition is by those spirits. So it's not fortuitous. Although all spirits can produce these phenomena, look at this. This could be a whole study just about this sentence. Although all spirits can produce these phenomena, not only the mediums, it's organic. We all can produce these phenomena. You can have a whole class about this, about the magnetic fluid, the vital fluid, the transformations of the universal cosmic fluid. Higher order spirits usually leave them to subaltern ones, since they are more suitable for material rather than intelligent matters. So the higher order spirits, they will not touch this movement and this acting upon matter. They will leave it to the ones that are still more they use the word subaltern, which is similar to the one in Portuguese, subalterno, since they are more suitable for material rather than intelligent matters. Thus, when the higher order spirits deem that manifestations of this type are useful, they use these spirits as their agents. So even And let's pay attention to this. Everything in creation has a purpose, right? When we study suffering and we talk about vengeance and revenge, and we understand that the person that caused us harm, that person obviously will reap an effect of that cause down the line. Even though they're doing something to harm us, there is still a providential order for that person to be an instrument of that growth for us. One of the toughest lessons in life, and we always blame the hammer, not the hand, right? When an artist is sculpting a big piece of marble and sees that beautiful statue, masterpiece, he sees, well, I'm going to have to break it into the shape of beautiful. There is a hammer or whatever instrument that they use to sculpt. Let's use the figure of a hammer. And that is the person, the agent itself, the person that makes you suffer directly. And there is the hand of the artist behind all that, which is God. If we can think about that when we think about suffering instead of complaining, questioning God's wishes. Remember, obedience and resignation, right? Obedience, resignation. The consentment of reason, obedience, the consentment of the spirit, the heart, resignation. We blame the hammer, even in our most difficult moments. We are being sculpted into the masterpiece that we need to be, that we need to become. We're all going through so much this year of 2020. It's been a long and difficult year for so many. We know a lot of families will not have a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas this year because they're lacking the minimum: food, a roof. So we that have it, we have an obligation. And our obligation, our duty, o dever, is to be grateful to God and try our best to do good and better every day, every single day. If you're listening to me right now, you have internet. You're watching it from someplace, from your home. Let's be grateful. We have to be the ones helping, the ones cooperating, the ones donating, the ones doing, because we have only reasons to be grateful for. Nothing but that. And most times we fail in realizing that. And we blame the hammer. We are being built into our better versions this year. We are being built into a masterpiece. And we're moving along through different classes, different orders, as our Mother Earth is moving along. And now, almost 9 months into this, giving birth to a new world. It may seem different, but that's all it is. So, we finished with the third order. We're going to do that second order. We're going to talk about the good spirits. define the general characteristics of this second order, and move along with the classes that the good spirits comprise. We want to be there. We want to be to number one, to the pure spirits. It's a lot of hard work. It all starts though with gratitude, with, like Teresa used to say, seeing God in every little detail. We're here to learn. We're here to call ourselves to our center. This is not about just reading the Spirit's book. This is about finding a purpose to continue on our path of goodness through prayer and knowledge. So let's do our prayer, make our prayer now, and thank God for this one more time, connected in peace. Dear God, thank you so much for bringing us together in peace, in good health, and with the presence of the good spirits who inspire us and who give us the lessons that we need to learn every day. Protect us and our families through this week. Let us do more, forgive more, share the love we have, and be light in other people's lives. Be with us tonight and for this whole week. And that being said, we ask you, Lord, to protect us, guide us, be with us. So be it. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Ponto de Luz has a study on Sunday, Tuesday, and in English on Thursdays. Share that with your friends. Share. Thank you and see you next week.